Welcome to CHHR News. Today we're giving you the inside scoop on the discrimination Mary Mellon faced as a direct result of her disability.
For years, Mellon had been struggling with anxiety, depression and panic attacks due to stress in her position. We're taking you on an insider's journey onto what happened.
Thank you for joining us today, Mary.
Happy to be here.
So tell us, when did you start working for Human Resources Development Canada?
Well, I started in 1991 on a term contract, but in 1997 they moved me to the Oakville office.
What happened that changed things?
Well, they started me off when I got there in a CR04 position, which is significantly harder than my previous jobs. And it led me to having a number of health issues. So I went to see my doctor and he urged me to take some time off work, about 3 weeks. And when I came back, they did return me to a CR03 position.
So they did accommodate you well then?
After a while, the manager switched up and they stopped being as accommodating. I was back into a CR04 job with even more responsibilities without them discussing it with me at all. Sorry, I've just been emotional. Some responsibilities were added without proper training, and so unless you count 20 minutes as training, you know?
So what happened when you returned to work?
My relationships with my coworkers were shot, and the employers seemed to be getting more and more frustrated with my request for help.
Can you relate to us what happened before your contract ended?
They apparently had a few meetings about me, and eventually they decided not to renew my contract when it ended. And
now we'll be going back to Karen, who will bring you the organization's point of view. Karen.
Thanks, Rebecca. Here we have Mr. Rick Lever, Miss Mellon's supervisor at the Burlington office. Thank you for being here, Rick.
Thank you, Karen.
So what are the concerns you had with Miss Mellon's performance?
Well, in her initial CR03, she was an outstanding employee. However, when she was moved up to the CR04 position in Oakville, her performance suffered greatly. We realized that we had a greater duty to accommodate and to be more aware that she was dealing with this disability.
Since then, I'm sure you've learned a lot about the importance of accommodating employees who are facing mental illness. What steps have you or will you take moving forward to help support your employees?
Well, currently we have a bigger emphasis on training. We didn't do enough with Mrs. Mellon, and this is something we've definitely worked on since as an organization. Our Human Resources Department of Canada has also taken the time to make sure that the staff are well trained in workplace mental health so that this does not occur again.
Thank you, Rick.
It was decided that this was in fact a case of discrimination. Although the company did have Miss Mellon's best intentions at heart, they did not attempt to accommodate her to the point of undue hardship. Mellon v. Human Resources Development Canada is a case that has acted as a guide in documents, teaching material, and training materials across Canada.
We'll now take you to our mental health and human resources expert, Michelle Sparling, for another perspective on what this case means.
The Mellon case showed us that if you have an employee who has poor performance, and if that poor performance is related to mental health issues, and if those mental health issues are triggered by the workplace due to factors such as lack of training or workload issues because of lack of resources, or even if the employee is not a great fit for the job, and it's very obvious to the employer that there is something going on and yet they do nothing about it, then make the decision to terminate the employee, the likelihood is the employer is going to be found as discriminating against the employee. Mellon became a benchmark case for us in the workplace because of that decision.